Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of body language. You know, we're always communicating even when we're not saying a word. It's like this whole other language we've got going on, man. We're gonna break down the subtle cues and subconscious signals that people give off, and I'm gonna give you 10 secrets to decode anyone. We're talking about reading people like a book, understanding their true intentions, and navigating social situations like a pro. So buckle up, because this is some next-level human behavior hacking we're about to get into. Alright, let's talk about eye contact. It's one of those things that can say so much without a single word being spoken. It's like the most primal form of communication, right? From the moment we're born, we start to understand the world through the eyes of those around us. You can tell a lot about someone by looking into their eyes. They can reveal emotions, intentions, and even secrets that words might try to hide. Strong, direct eye contact? That's a sign of confidence, maybe even dominance. It's like they're asserting their presence, making sure you know they're there. It's like they're saying, I see you, and I'm not afraid. This kind of eye contact can be powerful in both personal and professional settings. But then you've got the shifty eyes, the ones that are darting all over the place. These can be a dead giveaway of someone's inner turmoil. That can be a sign of nervousness, discomfort, or even deception. It's like they're trying to hide something, or they're just not comfortable in the situation. They're trying to avoid that connection, you know? It's almost like they're putting up a barrier between themselves and the world, like they've got something to hide. This kind of behavior can make others feel uneasy or suspicious. And then there's the prolonged eye contact, the kind that makes you feel like they're looking right through you. This can be both captivating and intimidating. That can be intense, man. It can create a deep connection or a sense of unease, depending on the context. It can be a sign of deep interest, attraction, or even aggression. The way someone looks at you can tell you a lot about their feelings and intentions. The key is to pay attention to the context. Eye contact doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's part of a larger picture. Who are they making eye contact with? What's the situation? Are they in a friendly conversation or a heated debate? You gotta read the room, man. Understanding the context can help you interpret the meaning behind the eye contact. But here's the thing about eye contact. It's not just about how long someone looks at you, it's also about how they break eye contact. This can reveal a lot about their state of mind. Do they look down? That could be a sign of submission. It's like they're acknowledging your dominance or authority. Do they look to the side? Maybe they're distracted, or perhaps they're trying to avoid a direct confrontation. It's all about the subtleties, man. The little movements and shifts can tell you so much if you know what to look for. Next up, we've got crossed arms. This is one of the most common body language cues you'll see, and it can mean a lot of different things depending on the context. This is a classic defensive posture. When someone crosses their arms, it often means they're feeling defensive or guarded. It's like they're putting a barrier between themselves and the world. This can be a subconscious way of protecting themselves from perceived threats or discomfort. Now, it doesn't always mean they're closed off or hostile, but it's definitely a sign that they're not feeling completely open and receptive. Sometimes it's just a habit or a way to feel more secure. Think about it. When you cross your arms, you're essentially closing off your chest, which is where your heart is. This can be a way of shielding yourself from emotional vulnerability. It's a way of protecting yourself, physically and emotionally. This posture can make you feel safer and more in control of your personal space. Maybe they're feeling insecure, anxious, or just plain uncomfortable. It's a natural response to feeling exposed or vulnerable in a social situation. Or maybe they're just cold, who knows? Sometimes crossed arms are simply a way to keep warm. But here's the thing. Crossed arms can also be a sign of confidence, especially if it's paired with other dominant body language like a strong stance or direct eye contact. In this case, it can signal that the person is self-assured and in control. It's like they're saying, I'm comfortable here and I'm not afraid to take up space. Again, context is key. You have to consider the overall situation and other body language cues to understand what crossed arms really mean. You gotta look at the whole picture, man. Body language is complex, and crossed arms are just one piece of the puzzle. Always consider the context and other signals to get the full story. Let's talk about hand gestures, man. You know, those movements we make with our hands while we're speaking. Some people are just natural talkers with their hands. They can't help but move their hands around when they're explaining something. They use them to emphasize points, paint pictures in the air, you know? It's like they're adding an extra layer to their words. It's like their hands are an extension of their thoughts. Every gesture adds meaning and emotion to what they're saying. And then you've got the folks who keep their hands glued to their sides. They might feel more reserved or shy. Maybe they're self-conscious, or maybe they're just not used to expressing themselves physically. It can be a cultural thing too, but here's the thing, even the smallest hand gestures can reveal a lot about what someone is thinking or feeling. A slight movement can speak volumes. Like if someone's constantly fidgeting with their hands, twisting their rings or playing with their fingers or picking at their nails, it often means they're feeling anxious or stressed. That's a sign of nervousness or anxiety. They're trying to release that nervous energy somehow, it's a way to cope. They're trying to release that nervous energy somehow, it's like their hands are doing the talking for their emotions. On the other hand, open palms are generally seen as a sign of honesty and trustworthiness. It's a universal gesture. It's like they're saying, I've got nothing to hide. This openness can make conversations feel more genuine and trustworthy. Posture, man, it's all about how you carry yourself. You got your chest puffed out, shoulders back, head held high. That's a sign of confidence, dominance, maybe even a little bit of alpha energy. But then you got the folks who are slouching, shoulders hunched over like they're trying to disappear. That can be a sign of insecurity, low self-esteem, or even sadness. Think about it. When you're feeling good, you naturally want to stand up straight and take up space. But when you're feeling down, you tend to shrink back and make yourself small. Your posture can actually affect your mood too. Studies have shown that standing up straight can actually make you feel more confident and powerful. Facial expressions, man, they're like the ultimate giveaway. You can try to hide your true feelings, but your face will always betray you. And I'm not just talking about the obvious stuff like smiles and frowns. I'm talking about microexpressions, those fleeting expressions that flash across your face for a fraction of a second. These are the expressions that you're not even aware of making, but they can reveal your true emotions, even if you're trying to keep them hidden. Like a quick flash of anger in someone's eyes, even if they're smiling. Or a flicker of fear that crosses their face, even if they're trying to act tough. These micro-expressions are involuntary, man. They're controlled by the limbic system, which is the emotional center of the brain, so you can't fake them, even if you try. Ever notice how, when you're really vibing with someone, you start to unconsciously mimic their body language? That's called mirroring, and it's a powerful sign of rapport and connection. When you mirror someone's body language, you're essentially saying, I'm on the same wavelength as you. I get you. It creates a sense of trust and understanding, and it can make the other person feel more comfortable and at ease. Now, you don't want to be too obvious about it or you'll come across as creepy. But subtle mirroring, like crossing your legs after they do, or taking a sip of your drink when they do, can go a long way in building rapport. You ever notice how people's feet seem to have a mind of their own? It's like they're always pointing in the direction they want to go, even if the rest of their body is trying to play it cool. Think about it. When you're interested in someone or something, you naturally point your feet towards them. It's like your body's way of saying, hey, I'm into this. But if you're feeling uncomfortable or wanting to escape a situation, your feet will start to point towards the nearest exit. So next time you're trying to read someone's body language, take a peek at their feet. They might just give away their true intentions. Alright, let's talk about touching the face. This is a big one, man. When people are feeling stressed, anxious, or deceptive, they tend to touch their face more often. It's like they're trying to soothe themselves or cover up their discomfort. Now, it doesn't always mean someone's lying, of course. Maybe they've got an itch or they're just adjusting their glasses. But if you notice someone touching their face a lot, especially during a conversation, it's worth paying attention to their other body language cues to see if there's something more going on. We all have our own personal space bubble, right? That invisible boundary that we don't like people crossing unless we're really comfortable with them. And the size of that bubble can vary depending on the person and the situation. Like if you're crammed into a crowded elevator, you're going to be a lot more tolerant of people being in your personal space than if you're having a one-on-one conversation. But generally speaking, the closer someone is willing to stand to you, the more comfortable they feel around you. And the further away they back up, the less comfortable they are. It's all about respecting boundaries, man. Last but not least, let's talk about head tilting. This is a subtle but powerful cue that can indicate interest, curiosity, or even empathy. When you tilt your head to the side, you're essentially exposing your neck, which is a vulnerable part of your body. It's a sign of trust and openness. Think about how dogs tilt their heads when they're trying to understand something. It's the same kind of thing with humans. So if you're talking to someone and they tilt their head, it's a good sign that they're engaged in the conversation and genuinely interested in what you have to say. Alright folks, there you have it, 10 body language secrets to decode anyone. Now, remember, these are just general guidelines. Every person is different, and there's no foolproof way to read someone's mind just by looking at their body language. But by paying attention to these subtle cues, you can gain a deeper understanding of the people around you and navigate social situations with more confidence. So go out there and start observing, man. You might be surprised by what you learn. Thanks for watching. If you found these body language secrets helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful videos. See you next time.